All right, guys, welcome back to the Failing Storms podcast. We talk about all things precision rifle, including gear, matches, and talk with some awesome people in the industry. And on full-length episodes like this, I try to bring on really cool people that are doing some pretty exceptional things and pick their brain about how they're doing it. So all I ask in return is if you learn something or we make you laugh or you find value in the episode, share the show with someone. And today we have the international champion, the German giant, the Bavarian badass, Seppo Sixt. And so last year was Seppo's first year in the PRS, and he's already accomplished some pretty uh, phenomenal things. And he's about as genuine of a guy that you can be around. So Seppo, thank you very much for coming on, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Absolutely. So for those that haven't got a chance to meet you yet, uh, give us a little brief introduction of yourself.
Uh, yeah, there's not much to say. I mean, I'm I'm Joseph Sixt, coming from Bavaria. That's the most southern part of Germany. So I'm living close to the borderline to Austria in the mountains. Uh, I grew up on a little farm down here. Um, I'm 46 years old. I have four kids, three daughters, one boy. I'm luckily married with a wife that let me do what I do, and I love shooting.
Awesome, awesome. It's one of it's a bucket list thing for me to come to Germany. I got to go to Vienna a handful of
That's
years ago, but we didn't get to make it up to Germany.
yeah. I mean, as I said, I'm Bavaria, especially Bavaria. I mean, I grew up with the 10th Special Forces Group out of Bad Tölz. So 10th Special Forces Group was based in Bad Tölz till 1991. And we
Okay.
grew up with you guys, with your soft guys there. So it was the second nicest base outside the United States behind Okinawa,
Wow.
and that means something. I mean, the landscape here is beautiful. You can compare it to Montana, just smaller. So the valleys
Oh,
are tighter, the mountains not as high, but
okay.
you have hot summers and cold winters with a lot of snow.
That's that's awesome. I would so because there's some so part of the new European series that y'all have starting up this year. There's two or three matches in Germany, isn't there?
No. Uh,
No?
I mean, there is a PRS division or Germany as a PRS country. Yeah, it's signed. It's Moritz Meyer has it, the guy who's traveling with me a lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, but from technical side, it's impossible to shoot matches here in Germany. We usually have 100-meter ranges, so 105 yards,
Yeah.
107 yards, something like that. So 100-meter ranges. The longest we can shoot are 300 meters. Uh, and since 1.5 years, 2 years, the German army quit to let civilians shoot on their shooting ranges on the long range distances. So there is not really a possibility to shoot long range beyond 100-meter and more seldom 300-meter.
Wow.
So
So civilians used to have access to the military bases to go shoot?
to their
Or
shooting ranges, to their shooting places, to the big places where they usually shoot heavy calibers and stuff like that. This is how I
gotcha.
trained a lot over the last 3 years. A good friend of mine is running civilian courses or did run civilian courses there. He's a former comrade of mine, but the German army quit it. And just to be honest, the worst place on earth to shoot is probably Germany for all the
Uh,
law restrictions for example, we have to put stamps on our barrels, so changing a barrel is a huge bureaucratic monster.
golly.
uh,
So do you have to apply for like a permit for every barrel?
for not only the barrel, for the system, for the bolt, the barrel. So we have 3 stamps on your weapon. That means if you change something there, and you do not have the same number, and if you have the same number on a new barrel, means the old barrel has to be destroyed, officially destroyed, and then you can put in the new barrel with the same number on it. And if you don't have the same number, it's an extra slot in your papers.
Wow. Okay.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I could. So the bolt, receiver, and barrel
Yep.
all
All
serialized.
exactly. Yeah, that's pain in the ass, but I mean, yep, we have to live with it.
Right. I mean, it is
Maybe
what about suppressors?
we can run suppressors for hunting purposes. So as a civilian shooter, you're not allowed. As a civilian sport shooter, you're not allowed to have suppressors. I mean, this is something else nobody understands. But for hunting reasons, we are allowed because for ear protection, dog ear protection, whatever reasons we can buy as many as we want. But
Okay.
as a civilian sport shooter, you don't.
Okay, and this is just me playing devil's advocate a little bit. So how how do you, I guess, prove that you're using it for hunting purposes versus sport shooting?
Uh, I mean, from what I know, how you guys get your hunting license is just more a matter of shouting, I want," and you get it, and you sign a paper, and you have it. Is it around about the correct way, like you guys have it in
Yeah.
the United States? Here in Germany, we call the hunting license the green high school or college degree. It takes you 1.5 years, depending on what you do for learning, making tests, written tests, spoken tests, shooting tests, and you learn everything from anatomy of a wild animal, from all wild animals that's standing on the hunting card, up to trees, plants, law, you name it, you do it.
Really, that's all part of your hunting license.
Exactly. As I said, it takes you around 1.5 years. I mean, you can compress it in a 3-week course, but that means you start at 7 o'clock in the morning, you end at 7 o'clock in the evening, and you learn half the night, and just to get the hours, and
Wow.
all the teaching material into your brain.
I mean, I don't think that should, I mean, from I would hate to have to do that just to be able to hunt, but it is a kind of a cool thing to, I guess, I mean, if you're, I guess to be able to learn everything,
I mean, you
like
you get very
here,
well educated. That
yes,
just to be honest, you get a lot of knowledge about theory and essay plants, trees, animals, and stuff like that. But to be honest, I can't remember anything anymore because in the end, there's just a little part you really have to use and you need to use,
yeah,
and whatever piece of plant is sitting in front of you, that's nice, as long as it's poison. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
hmm,
I remember ducks. We had to learn all the ducks that are available or reachable here in Germany, all of them, and I was pretty well in them. Nowadays, I know one or two of them still,
huh.
but the rest is gone. I mean,
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, because I mean, here well, at least in Texas, I'm not sure how it is all places, but I just drive to Walmart, pay $40 for my hunting license for the year.
really, you're kidding me? The payment comes afterwards. I mean, usually a 1 year hunting license costs you 50 euro bucks, and a 3 year hunting license costs you 150 euro bucks extra. So I mean, the
Huh.
course costs you with all and everything 2 to 2,500 euros, and
Wow.
then you pay 50 euros a year just to get the paper signed, and then you don't have any weapon, no ammunition, and you haven't killed anything. So, so
So
it's more,
do you hunt?
yes, sir.
What do you hunt?
Um, my favorite animal I love to hunt are boars. I love
Okay.
hunting boars, and not this sitting in a tree stand. I love driven hunts. So
Yeah.
I call it animation hunting because dogs animate the boars to start running, and if you have good dogs, uh, they're running the right direction, and if you're luckily on the right position, you get them, and then it's
Oh,
it's all on you.
that's so cool. So what's your rifle setup for that kind of hunt?
It's very untraditional. Here in Bavaria, we are very traditional on our hunting stuff. So a Blaser R8 is the way to go to be traditional with your Loden hat and so on.
Yeah.
So I'm running a DPMS Pond Arms in 308. It's a compact hunter. It was the lightest 308 semi-auto gun I was able to find and to buy. So it has a carbon forend and has a suppressor on it and has a 10 round magazine in it, and it's a semi-auto and it's lightweight.
That I That's awesome. Yeah, you went a totally different direction.
Usually,
Blazers are
usually I
kind of
cover
works
it.
of art.
I usually cover it in a Everlestock backpack so nobody sees it. And as soon as I'm outside, I'm free to go. Nobody's watching, and uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
uh,
That's super cool. I got to I, th- I think it was the first time I went to SHOT Show. We went to the Blazer booth, and that was kind of because they're not real big over here. I mean, they have their scene for sure, but I had never messed with one, and they're pretty neat.
for what reason aren't they that big? I mean, they're the biggest in the German-speaking area of Europe. You have to buy a Blaser R8 or anything from Blaser just to be in the community, just to be the right hunter. You know?
Well, one, I honestly, I think the biggest reason is because they're expensive.
Okay. Yeah. Same
Um,
here.
but it's just a different style, you know? I mean, but I would say price is probably the biggest thing.
Okay. What is the price for a standard 308 Blaser R8 in a normal configuration, not too expensive, not this leather wood stock thing with whatever.
I'm looking it up real quick. The R8.
I think
Oh,
here you get it for 3,500 euros. Could it be? I don't
that
know.
sounds about right. Uh, looks like about $5,700.
Woo, that is expensive. So you get a custom build easily
Yes.
for that. I mean,
Yeah. And I
depending
mean,
on
so
your wishes.
it's kind of like Accuracy International. I mean, you know, they're phenomenal rifles,
Yeah,
but
they are.
they're not super popular over here. I mean, they have their own following, but
Yeah.
you don't see a whole lot of them.
I mean, my long range career started with a Blaser R8 because I thought I have to buy myself a Blaser R8 in a 300 Win Mag caliber, and from there on, I thought I can start shooting long range. I mean, nowadays I still own the gun, but the only thing from Blaser is the receiver and the bolt. The rest is
Yeah.
all not Blaser anymore. uh,
I have a rifle. Is my the very first rifle I ever got. It was kind of the same thing. my parents got it for me when I graduated college, and it was a Remington 700 SPS tactical and 308,
Uh,
and it's like, I got a Remington 700 and 308. I can shoot anything I want to, and
that is that was my very first rifle too, and a
yeah,
short barreled 308, and I put it in an Accuracy International stock.
nice,
Still own the gun. It was, yeah, the very first thing, and this is the gun I started hunting with. I mean,
yeah,
this was my really first hunting rifle and my really self bought rifle.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, and now what made me think of it is that's how my that rifle is too. The only thing original on it now is the receiver. It I sent it on. I had it blueprinted. GA Precision did a new barrel for it. Then a KRG chassis now, and
that's that's crazy in this
yeah,
sport or in this community. Yeah.
yeah. I love it. So okay, so you kind of slightly touched on it, but you were in the army. How long did you do that, or what did you do? I mean, or at least for what you can tell us.
I mean, I spent 12 years in the German army.
Okay,
Most of the time I was in soft units. So I started as a long range reconnaissance guy
okay,
on the International Reconnaissance School down in Weingarten. So we had Brits there, we had US guys there. They were instructors. So we had instructors from the British SAS, from the US Special Forces, and so on. So then it was a NATO school, and we were a German reconnaissance company that was based just in the same village, different base, but the same village. So I spent 3 years there. Then I changed to the German Army parachute team. Was in Altenstadt, so that's a para school or a paratrooper school down there, and I was wearing a sports suit whole day long. So we made 10 jumps a day for training. We're done at noon, and the rest of the day was done sport and so on. And after 1.5 years, I decided to do a selection for another unit, and I went to a soft unit here in Germany till 2008. Then I left the army, still in reserve, um, and I never learned a long range shooting in the army. It was during that time not my style of shooting. I was used to pistols and then assault rifles. That
okay.
was during that time more my favorite.
That
Uh,
okay, dude. You got a hell of a history for sure. Okay, so what pistols do you like?
Glocks. I mean, any kind of Glock.
Plain and
Mainly
simple.
9 mils. Mainly 9 mils. Uh, it's all about shoot placement. So 9 mil, 9 mil is my favorite, to be honest. 17, 26, 43, 34, 19,
All
whatever it is.
all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
The best would be all of them. Yeah. Glocks are my favorite. I mean, during in the unit we had to use the Heckler& Koch USP.
Yeah.
We call it P8 Combat, so we had no safety on it. That was nice, but this double action, single action thing, that was nice. But you can't get used to it. But as soon as we got Glocks, I mean, nothing else on the
Yeah.
market for duty. I mean, I don't have any experience in sport shooting with pistols, uh, but for duty, for hard use, for not normal using, then Glocks. Yeah, they
Yeah.
never
They're
let you down.
they're tough to beat. So okay, so what got you into long range shooting and then inevitably into the PRS?
That is very easy explained. Um, Hunting was the driven or
Okay.
the driving force behind that. I mean, um, after I left the army, I created or started a company, and we imported material from the United States. So Evelstock, Mystery Ranch, Tactical Tailor, and so on. So I know Glenn Everly from Evelstock very well. He was on my place, at my place a couple of times. I know Dana Gleason well, out of Montana. So I was on his place. He was in my place. We know each other very well. And in 2015, I was up there in Montana, Bozeman, Montana, for development exchange. I spent there 14 days, and one of the guys there took me for pronghorn hunting. So he had a pronghorn tag, and he was carrying an 308 semi-auto, and I carried his heavy 300 Win Mag bolt rifle gun there. And the first thing I recognized there is I had my hunting license already here in Germany. He was running full metal jacket bullets in the magazine. And I asked him, hey, guy, do you guys then use hunting ammunition? Because it's more effective. And the answer I got was, it's all about shoot placement. Hit the right place, they fall. So, yeah, I mean, we stalked to a few of the pronghorns there, and he said, there on the very left-hand side, this is the right one. Try to hit it the right place. And it was a 440-meter shot, and I was addicted. So I came back home, bought my Blaser R8 in 300 Win Mag, bought this DPMS Panther Arm semi-auto rifle for driven hunts, and with the Blaser rifle, it started. So I bought myself a Schmidt & Bender I started with a size class, but it was not very suitable for the things my former comrades told me and taught me. And I went to a Schmidt & Bender, got a Trimmer 3 reticle, and from there on it started. And through my reserve, or maybe I didn't mention, but I'm still in reserve for the unit. And during my reserve training, I went with the snipers. And they teach me how to handle Tremor reticle, how to handle a Kestrel, how to read wind, how to do all and anything. And from there on, Todd Hotnet is maybe a name. Accuracy First out of Texas. He's traveling the world to teach units his craftsmanship. So we invited him, or the unit invited him. We went to Switzerland, and we were high angle shooting in the Swiss mountains. And I spent 1 week with him, and it was just impressive what he was able to explain, to show you, to teach you. And then I was really addicted to this kind of long range shooting. And yeah, I mean, getting long range hunting experience here in Europe was not easy, but it is possible. And then the next step was, okay, where can I train myself to become better in accurate long range shooting? And a former comrade started doing little PRS matches out of Philipsburg. It's West Germany, and it was on a 300-meter range. So it was very limited. So we had tiny targets. We had a lot of stuff to disturb you in your process, but it was a lot of fun. So a lot of active and a lot of former members came there. We shot, we had fun, and then I was totally addicted. So in 2022, I shot my very first international match down in Italy. I got beat by the Italians like crap. But again, it was fun. And then I looked around and found a series in Slovakia and Italy, and I tried to shoot as much as possible all around. So luckily in this year or in 2022, there were the world champs. So I was able to get a place or a spot on the German team, and we went to France. So it was a fair enough travel. So it was a 4.5 hour car ride. So we went Bish, and then I saw all the US guys. They were beating the crap out of the rest of the gang. I mean, performance wise, and until this date, I thought we are pretty good in what we do, and then we saw what's really possible. And the most impressive thing I saw during the World Champs was Austin Bushman bringing home the win. I mean, he had to clean the stage, this whole thing. So I think it was 10 round stage, or was it an 8 round? I think it was a 10 round stage.
I think so.
10 holes, 10 rounds, one target, and had to bring it home. And he cleaned it, and that was just ice cold. And from there on, I changed my point of view of how to train and what to train, and yeah, this is how I got addicted. And it's
Okay, that's all. And so that's perfect. It kind of leads in my next question. So you haven't been doing this a real long time, but you're really good. What does your
thank you.
training look like? I mean, are there certain drills that you like to do, or once you saw all this, what became your primary focus?
I mean, what I saw there, especially with the US guys, was their performance before the shot. I mean, they were not wasting any movement, no energy. It was just like a robot, like a robot. They were moving like robots, and there was no waste of movement, no waste of time, no waste of energy. It was just back, gun, behind, close the bolt, pull the trigger. Done. That was the first thing I saw. Then I started listening to Morgan King's podcasts, and also Chet Heckler and Francis Collin, like probably a lot of guys do.
Right.
And especially with Morgan podcasts, there are so many gold nuggets in it. And if you ask me for training purposes, I do all my training with 22LR.
Really?
So yeah, I go maybe once a week, maybe ahead of a competition. I go twice a week center fire shooting on a 100-meter range, dot drills. But I usually shoot 400 to 500 rounds 22LR a week.
How much?
Just for 400 to 500 around.
Wow.
And I try to do it every day. I mean, I try to pull every day a minimum of 20 to 50 times a trigger, just to get used to the trigger. And most of them, I mean, what do you miss with 22LR is the recoil. Recoil
Right.
management sucks. I mean, there is no recoil. That's just pain in the ass. But what you learn is effective movement. So I call it explosion. You can explode as soon as the bolt is open, until the bolt gets closed again, is what I call explosion. It comes from pistol shooting. So you can compare pistol shooting with rifle shooting. The time frames are different, especially if you have the finger on the trigger. But explosion and patience. So you explode until you're on the target and have the finger on the trigger. Then you need patience. And as soon as you open the bolt again, so pull the trigger, squeeze, freeze, measure, correct, do whatever. As soon as you open the bolt, you can explode again and move as fast as possible to the next position, to the next target, to whatever you have to do, until you close the bolt, have the finger back on the trigger. Then you need patience. And this is what I train with 22LR.
That's phenomenal.
Efficiency in movement.
Okay, and then so are you doing? You say you're doing dot drills, is that right?
Yes, sir.
It was it like 50 meters for the 22 or what
No,
distance you
for
do?
on the 22, I built myself a field shooting out to 250 meters. I grew
Oh,
up on a
okay.
farm. I grew up on a farm, and yeah, we have places.
Okay. Okay. So you're doing, I mean,
I'm
uh,
shooting steel. I'm shooting steel with 22 LR.
okay.
Uh, because the second thing there, I mean, for it works for me. What I figured out there is if you miss with a 22 LR, you also have to measure the miss and correct on it. So usually
Mhm.
I'm shooting one shot drills, and if I miss it, I measure it, I correct it, I do a two shot drill just to get the
Okay.
confirmation that it wasn't me, it was me and not anything else, just to get the hit on the plate.
Okay. So you're doing a lot of one shot drills.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you timing yourself?
Sometimes,
Okay.
usually, I try not to bring extra pressure in it. I mean, as soon as I see something new on a competition, I try to rebuild it back home. I learned carpenter before I went to the army, so I have all the obstacles, all the positions back home, and
Okay.
I build them all by myself if I see something special. I mean, I started in 2022. There were still this wobbly rope thing stuff and all this pain
Not
in
so
the
much
ass.
anymore.
Not so much anymore, but I rebuilt all of them just to figure out how to handle it because it was totally new for me.
Okay.
And so I tried to build the positions, try to build the obstacles, and then I start training. And usually I don't start with time pressure on that.
Okay. That's really interesting. Okay. So what's like a technique? Okay. So I listen to Morgan's podcast as well, and I think there are some golden nuggets is the best way to put it, like you said. So is what's a good or a new technique or something that you learned from, yeah, like coming over here and shooting, or shooting with any of the US guys when they were over there? Like, do you do you troop lines any different, um or is it all just trial and error, figure it out?
Well, in that special case, I mean, I started shooting in the US. The, that was a dream coming up just after World Champs, um, and I didn't know I have to go to the States because the best shooters in the world are there, and you guys are blessed with the possibilities you have. I mean, I
Absolutely.
I was this year I was or last year I was for 5 weeks in the States. I visited a few places, and never anybody or everybody has a shooting range behind his house, out to 1,000 yards, where impossible, just impossible here in Germany. So uh, this is something I figured out pretty fast. Is the possibilities you guys have to shoot here is unbeatable. So I call it blessed. Everybody who wants can live his passion as long he doesn't disturb anybody else. Uh, uh, Amazing,
Yeah.
really amazing. And I mean, the level here in the States is so high. I mean, if you want to become better, you have to go to the States. So I didn't expect anything on that point. But as you mentioned, Morgan King, for example, his one shot drill with his 5 second. So it means
Hmm.
this 5 second drill. I call it 5 second drill. This is something I train a lot, and I just did it today in the morning. I went for center fire training. I have my timer with me, and when I shoot center fire dot drills, I have a part time at 5 seconds. That means I have to be in position with the finger on the trigger on the target after 5 seconds, and then I celebrate the trigger pull. That means another 3 to 4 seconds just to feel it.
Hmm.
Um, this is a special thing I pulled from Morgan's podcast. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. Okay. Well, and so for those that don't know, Seppo's first match in the States was the King of Coal Canyon match in Raton, where he freaking tied for first at his first U.S. match ever, and not an easy match to say the least. Um,
All luck, no skill, Mike.
no bullshit. I mean, so I was really glad I got to squad with you, and I think what the way you describe like the explosive and then the pay, like you're very dynamic to watch. It's really neat. Um, can you tell us what you thought about that match? One, it being like your first U.S. match, then tying for first. I mean, what
I
do you
mean,
think?
what happened there is I signed in for the match, and I saw Austin Bushman was in that squad, and I tried to be squatted with him because watching, we call it Lala. It's uh, listening, watching, learning, adapting. So monkey see, monkey do, and I did know his name. I saw him at the World Champs, so I tried to be with somebody I know. I know he's performing on a high level, so I squatted with him, and luckily we came together. So it was you, it was Clayton Porter, it was Jack Shore, you, Austin, Cale Harmon,
Yep,
uh,
it
Nick.
was a really good squad.
That was an amazing squad. And just to be honest, I came over and I expected nothing. I mean, the very least thing I expected was this shit talking, just just in the squad. And the very first day, everybody was looking at me, and it was I didn't felt uncomfortable. It was just the German. Yeah, nobody expected anything or didn't know how to handle me, and I was just there, and I was just watching and listening, and crazy. They they are as crazy as I'm. So that was an amazing experience, and I just shot. Just to be honest, there was no pressure. There was nothing. I don't have to prove anything because nobody did know me, and I was watching you guys the whole day, and I noticed things I saw I'd like to learn. I want to make as good as you guys did, and so on. And I shot as good as possible. And I said there was no pressure. Uh, there was no mental thing because I don't have to show you anything. I couldn't show you anything. And day two was much more, how do you say it, relaxed, more relaxed than
Okay.
day one because everybody, I mean, after one day shooting together, uh, having a beer together, and so on,
Yep.
was much more relaxed. So, but no pressure, no uncomfortable feelings, no nothing. Shit talking. So I started shit talking too.
Yep.
Yeah, and
You held in there pretty well.
yeah, and yeah, and it worked well. I mean, I did.
Yeah,
I never.
you
I
did
never.
phenomenal.
I never watched for results and just did my very best on these 2 days, and I was luckily in a very good squad with you guys, and we had a lot of fun, and I think that was the best experience ever so far.
Good. I it was dude, we were all, I mean, not to wish ill on any of the other guys, but when we saw how close it was going to be, I think all of us were pulling for you just to win it outright. I mean, such a uh
I mean, do you remember Kale? Kale, it was on one of the stages where I think he zeroed a stage.
yeah,
And do you remember how strong he came back? How fast he came over this gap, this valley he had to go through,
yeah.
this valley
So
of tears.
yeah, so I had Kale on a couple episodes ago, and we actually talked about that stage. And yeah, he went to the zero board check. You know, it it was what it was, and he came back. I think he still finished. top 10 at that match?
I think it was 10,
Yeah.
exactly number 10. I
Mhm.
think that was amazing to watch. I mean, I didn't recognize it in the beginning. I think I asked Austin or Jack what was going on. He said he's here at the stage for no reason. I mean, he was not able to explain it. But the wind was a bitch there, and whatever happened, and he came back, and I think he cleaned the very next stage where I said, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Kale is unbelievable. I mean, he won the whole thing this year, but yeah, I mean, that guy's there's ice in his veins.
So machine.
Yeah,
That's a robot, a machine. Yep.
yeah. So what did you think of like the course of fire and because like so that match has a decent amount of angle changes, high wind, very switchy winds. I mean, what did you think of that, or had you shot and stuff like that before?
No, never ever. I
Okay.
mean, as I mentioned, I didn't expect anything. I was surprised that it was very prone or a lot of prone shooting
Yeah.
because I thought positional is very highly done here in the
Mhm.
States, but they say this more prone match. Um, so I think I never shot so much prone in a competition before, but
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what I did here, because here in Europe during that time or during until end of 2022, we had all this wobbly chain rope thing and stuff so on. That was nice not to have to shoot that. Um, but as said, I haven't expect anything on that point. I took it like it came. I mean, it
Yeah.
was for me was
I just
everything nice and everything was a learning.
yeah. Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, I think that match is so unique. Uh, it is a very heavy prone match. I think it has to do with one where it's at. There's not a ton of props, and that's not like their permanent range. The Whittington Center lets them come in,
Yeah,
but they make all the targets really small,
yep.
and I love. So I've been to all those matches or all the Raton matches, except I'm not gonna make it this. I can't make it this year, so I'm actually
You
really bummed.
you don't
Now,
you don't
so
go.
I'm starting. I'm gonna start shooting NRL Hunter this year,
Okay,
and there's a match the same weekend uh, as the Raton match,
okay. I mean,
which
NRL Hunter is still on my bucket list. I have to do some NRL Hunter matches.
I'm honestly really excited about it. I I've been wanting to shoot it for a while, but I was so dedicated to PRS, and I finally have my rifle should be done in a couple weeks or so.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but I'm excited.
I will do it once some when. I mean, not this year and probably not next year, but yeah, right now my main focus is PRS.
Yeah.
I think
You're
it's
are you a
a good bit.
lefty?
I'm a lefty, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you're over here and you want to go to a match, you can use my rifle if you want to. The
Thank you.
one time I get to help by being lefty.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
heck, I'll be your
I,
little caddy and just carry all the shots.
but not on your very first NHL match. You should shoot it by yourself, don't you? But maybe you have an old Remington 700 something somewhere around and just give it a
So
try.
that old Remington, that's the only bolt gun I own that's right-handed.
Really?
Yeah, because back at that time there weren't a whole lot of left-handed options, and it just kind of it
And
was what it was.
that was the main reason for the Ram 700, and then mainly I started, or the blazer is a left hand too, but
Hmm.
mainly I shoot semi-autos for hunting. So there is, I don't care, lefty righty,
Yeah,
ambidextrous. So
semis I don't really care, but yeah, the bolt gun it dropped. Now that I have left-handed bolt guns, dude, I'm like I don't know how I ever did this.
same here. I mean, I never tried it. It was always pain in the ass to run a right-handed bolt gun as a lefty, and no, I was too stupid. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and then I see, that this is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like if I'm on Facebook or something and someone will post like, "Hey, I need a left-handed rifle and this, what do you suggest?" And then you go into the comments, and these jackasses like, "Well, have you ever tried running a right-handed rifle as a lefty? You have your support hand right there, and you can just reach up and run the bolt, and it's incredibly fast." I'm like, "Do you shoot a
uh,
left-handed rifle on purpose as a right-handed shooter?"
no,
Yeah, shut
no,
up.
forget that. No, 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 forget that.
Yeah, but yeah, anyways, that's a pet peeve of mine.
No,
Facebook is where intelligence goes to die. It drives me nuts.
and
Okay, so go ahead.
no, no, just sorry.
So walk me through your rifle setup.
Uh, you mean the old one or probably the new one?
Ooh, changing it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I changed a lot of it.
what you're gonna be shooting?
So I came from an MDT chassis and I running foundation. So
Came to the
I
dark side,
start.
my friend. Which
I
foundation?
the Centurion.
Nice.
The Centurion. I have it since 3 months. 3 months. I got it 4 weeks ahead of the finale in Kansas, but
Okay.
was still not willing to bring it as
Yeah,
I
that's
had a
understandable.
as I had an MDT ACC chassis over there in the States waiting for me. So it was weight reason and also confidence. Is it right wording? Confidence
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
Uh, so I did a lot of training with it, but shot the finale with the MDT thing, and then was beginning of November. There was the very last competition here in Europe in Slovakia, or the very last competition down in Slovakia. So I shot it there, and on after day one I had a lead of 10 points, 9 points, and I was able to bring the win home with a 4 or 5 point lead.
That's awesome. So,
Uh,
is it black? Did you get a black one?
Say again?
Did you get a black one?
No, just this dark, distressed. So
Yeah.
Moritz Meier, Alpine Precision, is doing the import stuff for Foundation and Lone Peak Arms here in Germany, and
Who
he
is?
Moritz Meier, the guy who's traveling with me, so the dealer of hearts, the weapon dealer of our hearts, uh, and he has a special color with with Foundation. We made a special color with John. It's dark distressed, something I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's not bright, it's not black, it's not too
Yeah.
dark. It's a nice color. Um, and I'm running an LPA, a Lone Peak Arm action, with a benchmark barrel on the one system. On the second system, I'm running a Bixen Andy barrel. Here in Europe, Bixen Andy lives 45 minutes away from where I live, out of
Really?
Kufstein. Yeah, and he's mainly known here not for his triggers but for his barrels. So he started with barrels, and
Really?
he's a world class bench rest shooter. So he's doing bench rest and had problems with getting barrels during that time out of the States. So he started his own business with doing barrels, and he's making great barrels. So uh, I have the one system with a Bixen Andy barrel. I brought this barrel to the finale, and on the other one is a benchmark barrel in. So I just get reassembled or I get a new barrel on the benchmark barrel system. I run a TMB muscle brake on it. I mean, I I don't have problems with getting punched in my face, but I love the recoil reduction. Uh,
Yeah, I just did it. I just recorded a podcast episode with BJ from Without Warning a couple days ago.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
I mean,
we'll talk about it
I mean,
after this.
I mean, if you like get punched in your face, that's the right break. And if you're looking for recoil reduction, in my opinion, that's the right break. But as said, you
I
have
think
to
it's
get
the
used
best.
to it. You have
Well,
to get
so
used to it.
I will say, and we talked about this on the show, but the tuner being directly behind the brake, I feel like it diverts a pretty decent chunk off of the shooter.
Yeah, I never tried it without the tuner, but compared to a APA Fat Bastard or other brakes, that's a huge amount of punching your
It
face, especially if you shoot out of a box there somewhere. That
oh god.
is, oh my gosh, it feels like your ear protectors fly away.
I was at the match in Arkansas at Twisted Barrel this year, and they have a bunch of Connexes, and uh I was standing at the end talking to the RO while Kate Estes was getting ready to start, and I didn't realize she started, and she shot that TMB inside the Connex. I literally ran out. I mean, dude, they're ungodly loud,
What the
but
heck?
damn,
Yeah,
they work. It,
yeah.
anyways,
Hey,
continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but continue.
um, yeah, I was running Carlos glasses, but I changed glasses to ZCO, so zero compromise
Those are
is
amazing, absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, we are blessed with some pretty good optic manufacturers here in Europe. So I started with Schmidt and Bender,
Yep,
came to Carlos, and I also tried a Leupold, and
yep.
I tested all of them side by side on the shooting range and on different conditions outside with getting darker, with fog, with stuff, and the ZCO just supports my style of shooting the best. That's what
Yeah,
I
and
did.
you're right. I mean, there's so many good options. But I run as ECO as well, and I've got one on my PRS gun, and I've got one on my hunting rifle.
I mean, I'm not willing to say any optic is better than the other. They're all good, but
Right.
but you have to figure out what supports your style of shooting. and
Yes.
and so different humans, different eyes, different conditions, different whatever.
Right.
um, you have to find the right equipment that supports you and doesn't disturb you. So
I agree, and that's so I have a hard time with scopes because I do think once you get to a certain level, um, I mean they're all so unbelievably good. I do think it comes down to your specific eyes, um,
yep, I agree.
on what will work best is, and then outside of that, the it's got to be mechanically sound, you know,
Yep.
and
I
the
mean,
ZCO is
and another part are probably reticles. I mean, as I come from a Tremor 3, probably nobody uses Tremor 3 anymore in PRS shooting. Not that I know. And in the beginning with this grid or with the Christmas trees reticles down there, this very open ones, I
yep.
was a little bit surprised how somebody can hold it and shoot it and stuff like that. So ZCO has the Tremor 5 reticle in it.
Uh-huh.
So that was a great option for testing. But right now I'm coming back to the 2X MPCT
Yep.
2X. Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting
I
used to it
think
and
ZCO has some of the best reticles on the market right now.
same again. I don't think there is one bad radical on the market. I mean, there are bad radicals, sure there are, but
Yeah,
but it feels just good. I mean, especially the 2X is it fits my style of shooting.
yeah,
I can handle it. Uh, yeah, not to
yeah.
say
And
I
I
love it,
run
but
the 3X, which is
okay,
it's the same thing, but it's got the circles at
yep,
the mill marks.
yep.
But okay, what about what's your scope mount?
I was using Aeratag. That's a German company. So they are
Okay,
known for I mean they're in the civilian market, but all our military mounts are made from Aeratag. All the military sniper mounts are made from Aeratag because they are undestroyable.
gotcha.
Uh, so right now I'm running ZCO mounts. I'm
Oh,
getting
okay,
the heavy mounts from ZCO
okay,
and just standard is coming
okay.
with the scopes.
So let's see. Okay, I think we covered. And then what bags are you using?
Armageddon gear, but
Okay.
the plus one also
Oh
a
yeah.
gold nugget. The a gold nugget from Morgan
Yep.
was the medium is too small for me. I just don't feel comfortable with it. The game changer was too big, so I went for the plus one, and I love it.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Heavy sand, as heavy as possible, and so on.
Is that the only bag you use?
Mainly, yeah. I mean, I have
Okay.
a plate bag, a small plate bag. If you shoot a tripod rear with a plate bag in front, just the Armageddon gear standard plate bag, but
Okay.
the lightweight version. So it's lightweight. It's Git Light. This is called Git
Yeah.
Light. Git
Hmm.
Light filled, just for weight reasons. And I have a self-made small pump bag if I need one, very light one for whenever I feel I have to use it. I have it on my back, so
Okay.
it
Okay.
takes no room. So usually I come with three bags. Yeah.
Okay. And what about do you use binoculars for spotting?
No, I have this. How's it called? The Bushnell, the Bushnell scope with the trim of four in it. So it's a not a binocular. It's a five
Uh
or 10 to 40 uh,
the spotting
spotting
scope?
scope. Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
straight through. I'm running a Terrapin for long for the as a laser rangefinder, the Victronics Terrapin.
Yep.
Uh, really
And
right
then other
stuff
people
tripod.
use you as their rangefinder?
Yeah, that's Morris again. The weapon dealer of trust.
Yeah.
He's using my distances, and it works.
Yeah. Okay. And so and the reason I wanted to run through all the stuff that you use, but so do you see a difference between how guys in the States set up their rifles or the gear, the manufacturers that they use versus what you see a lot of in Europe?
um, do you wanna hear the truth or my honest opinion on that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to play with the best in the world, you have to copy what they use and just adapt on your specific style of shooting. So
Mhm.
I I I started with a few European companies just to try it out, but in the very end after World Champs, I bought Lone Peak Arms Actions, US barrels. I mean, the Bixen anti-barrel is different, but same quality
Right.
and so on. Um, but I usually buy all my equipment in the States because uh,
Okay.
you can't really compare it for this specific task of competition shooting.
Okay.
So I think the best equipment comes from the States.
Okay.
Just to be honest, that's
And I mean, are there because like I've shot with you and a handful of the other guys, coming over from Europe, and it seems uh like I saw a lot of MDT and MPA chassis and like
Yep.
Loophole and CCO. Um, but y'all are, I would also say y'all are at the top echelon of, of international shooters that are competing. And so is that what is y'all set up similar to what a lot of other guys in Europe are running? Or
No,
is, or,
no. They,
uh,
they, they.
okay.
I, I, I mean, if I would have known what the difference in equipment is, it could have saved me a lot of money. And probably they run through the same experience. I
Okay.
mean, I don't want to name any manufacturer
Yeah.
guys are running here, but if it comes to this all this kind of different conditions you can face during a PRS match. I mean, winter, snow, summer, dust, dirt, whatever. The action, the system has to handle all these conditions, and I
Yeah.
don't want to have a system that where I have malfunctions, loading malfunctions, whatever, firing pin breaking, and I can expect it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can expect it with your equipment or with US equipment too, but it's usually no problem. I mean,
Yeah.
I had not a single malfunction with a lone peak arm action.
They're
Uh,
really nice. I got my first two of them this past year, and they're I run impact on my PRS rifle, but I've got my hunting rifle is a lone peak, and my NRL hunter is a lone peak.
and with the system with the rifle I had before, I had I would say every second stage I had a loading malfunction because the bullet didn't chamber or whatever.
Wow.
It really was pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I had to fix my lips on the magazines on a tenth of a millimeter exactly. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. So I had my caliper, my measurement thing with me just to flex the mag lips every time the exact spot, and it was just pain in the ass.
Golly.
Maybe it wasn't built for this purpose. I mean, whatever. But
Okay.
best equipment in the States, invest the money and buy what the best guys use. And uh, buying cheap means you buy not only once, you buy a couple of times
Yeah.
if you buy cheap.
Yep. Okay, and so you shot a handful of matches over here last year, and then shot the finale. Came in top 50 and won top international shooter.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. That's a
Thank you very much.
hell of an accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
What did you think when when you found out that you were top international? Because man, there were some studs that came to the match.
That's right. But top international means for the overall season. And
Right.
there were two internationals better than me. So it was Daniel Gibbons and this guy from New Zealand, and they were better. But I won because I shot more matches in the United States. So I probably wouldn't have won top international if they had been able to spend more time in the States and shoot there. So uh,
Hmm.
I until now I wasn't able to beat Daniel Gibbons from Ireland. I had
That,
it I had it once until I had it once beginning of August. I was in the UK, shot a match there. I was leading till the very last stage. Dropped 3 points. He won with 1 point ahead of me. Yeah, still
Dan
goals.
was in my squad at the finale. That he
He's
unbelievable.
a heck of a shooter. I mean, so yeah, a top international. I think with the new European series, it becomes heavier or more difficult to win it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you have to grow.
I think it's awesome. I love that they're doing the new series like that. I think it's gonna mesh the two worlds together
Yep,
really well, and it's gonna be harder for everybody.
yep. Especially, I mean, if you guys can shoot matches here in Europe. I mean, if somebody's willing
Yeah,
to come over, shoot a match, and take his points, maybe takes a win back home, has 100 points for the
yeah,
US series, uh, and vice
yeah,
versa. Awesome, really
yeah.
awesome.
I talked to my wife. I told her about it, um, and I'm not gonna be able to do it this year, but I am planning on at least one match for 2025 to come over. Uh, I mean, dude, how freaking awesome would that be? I
Uh,
mean,
would would be awesome.
I
Just
can't wait.
let me know far ahead, and I can organize few things and bad and
Absolutely.
whatever. I mean, we just
Yeah,
can't shoot here in Germany.
that's fair. That's fine. But yeah, I think I'm super looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. And so, you are shooting uh the World Championship match in Colorado this year,
I
correct?
I hope so. I mean, there are qualification guidelines out, and I have to sign in till beginning of May, and hopefully I get a slot there. Yeah, but I'm planning on it so far
Okay.
until
Okay, so
anything.
y'all's selection is in May. Is that what you said?
Yeah, you have to bring in your results, and you have to sign in. So nobody comes to you and says, "Would you please go?" You have to bring your results, and then they compare it and decide who's going and who's not.
Okay.
But there's a fair chance to go. Yeah.
Okay. So the last championship match in France, the US team did shoot very well. And
Yeah.
I think it was kind of expected for the first match like that. What do you how do you see the team stacking up this year?
The US team.
Well, just the US team in relation to all of the other international teams.
I
Um,
mean, I have a few names in my head that are on the US team list, and probably very hard to beat. I mean,
oh yeah,
just to be honest, if you see it mathematic wise, it could be easier to become world champion in the United States than winning a golden bullet in the United States.
I would agree
Just,
with that.
just to be honest, because you have 50 guys hunting for a golden bullet, for example, uh, but there you have six guys, and I mean, I don't hope it, but maybe six guys have a bad day.
Yeah,
Uh, but the probability that 50 guys have a bad day is probably not coming.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, I will say so. I did an episode with Greg Bell, and we were talking about the U.S.
okay,
team, and we filled because last time we didn't fill all of the divisions,
okay,
and this year we have full teams in every division, and it the people that are representing the U.S. this year are
amazing. I
um
mean,
yes, there's no other in every spot. I mean, but anyways, but and that's not to get on how good the U.S. team is, but I what I think is really interesting is I'm really intrigued to see how much the gap closes because with so many of y'all coming over here and shooting matches, and not only shooting matches, I mean, hell, you tied for first with Austin Bushman. I mean, the current
al-
world champion. So I mean,
Only
it's
luck.
no, but it's I mean, how do you think that's going to be? I mean, do
To,
you
to,
think
to
there's
be
a
honest, I mean, to be honest, everybody wants to win.
yeah,
That's first thing to say. But I don't think that we can beat the US team this year. The gap will be tighter. This is what happens probably, but I don't think then that we can beat a US team. No,
okay,
we are still too far behind. That's, I mean, I would love to do it,
right,
or whoever. I mean, it's always easier to come from the rear side or from the back side and hunting something instead of getting hunted.
yeah,
And the US team will be hunted. I mean, they run in front of the rest and on their home ground, and then yeah, that's not
yeah,
an easy situation. But just to be honest, uh, it will be tough. Not to say
yeah,
impossible, but close to.
yeah. No, I mean, I wanted to get someone else's opinion, especially someone from another country, from an outsider's point of view.
Not that we probably show mercy. I mean, this is
No, you shouldn't. You
but
shouldn't.
but yeah, I figured out the level here in the States, and yeah, that's the reason why I'm coming over. I
Right.
want to become better,
And
and
so you're going to be in the States for an extended chunk of time this year, right?
yeah, couple of weeks. So I'm planning to come over in April and leaving in June again. So 2 months in a row. So
Okay.
that means I'm running 8 matches. I could run 9 matches, but on this weekend I'm joining a class in Oklahoma. So
You
I'm
doing the
going for
JTAC class?
yes, sir. Yeah, just
Okay.
I only heard good things and fishing for gold nuggets again, just
Yeah.
to see what where can I improve, how can I improve, what can I improve. I mean, I only have the experience. I don't train with other peoples because there are so less or so few shooters, PRS shooters here in Germany, and the main area of shooting PRS is here in South Bavaria. So we know all the shooters, and we know each other. Uh, Fishing for gold nuggets. So JTEC
Yeah.
class, I think it's worth the money. Uh, Only hit
Well,
good.
there are a lot of wins out of that group of guys.
What I hear. I mean, you only have to read the names, then and you can fall on your knees. But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. It's pretty incredible what that group has accomplished.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now you can damn near get a whole rifle built in Oklahoma with now Austin Orgain having a barrel company in Oklahoma.
yeah. This is what I was reading on. I think was Facebook or was it Instagram, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was reading the story, but yeah, I stayed here for 2 months, shooting 8 competitions, and get this class, and then I'm coming back in August for another 2 matches. I bring my family, so wife and
Okay.
4 kids. That was
Heck
the
yeah.
deal. That was the deal. If you go for 2 months, we come with you ahead of the world champs. But they probably have to leave just ahead of the world champs because in the week when the world champs start, the school in Germany starts again. So
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
I have to drop them somewhere around on an airport and send them back home. And I
Okay.
will stay for another 10 days, shoot the world champs, and coming back then.
Okay.
And then hopefully for the final again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Awesome. Uh, well, I hope I get to run into you at a match. I'm shooting a bunch of them this year. But
I mean, I'm signed in for the best in Texas in College Station already. In
oh, okay.
when is it?
I
April.
still need to register for it, but I'll be at that one.
Yep. So I'm signed in. I'm squatted already.
Okay. Okay. So you're coming in April. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm pulling up my. Uh. Oh, I can't. It won't let me do that. Um.
The week after Eastern, I think it
Okay.
is.
So then, are you gonna go shoot the Oki Showdown?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the Punisher?
Nope. Punisher is somewhere in June, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So the probably the last match I'm planning to shoot, I mean, is the Pig River Precision Ham
Okay.
Rocky Mountain.
Okay.
But from the Box Canyon till the Pig River Precision Ham.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm just throwing this out there. There is a NRL Hunter match May 31st.
May 31st. Ah, there's the King of Coal Canyon.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Never mind. That's why I'm not going. I forgot. That's the match.
There's
Yeah, no,
there's the King of Coal
my
Canyon.
uh there's a newer range Cap Rock Rifle Club that's like 2 hours from me. And they
No question.
putting on their first
I said
NRL match.
I have it on my bucket list that I want to shoot NRL Hunter, but I still have no clue about rules, about what is allowed, what not, what to do, how to do. Uh, I mean, I really would love to see NRL Hunter matches here in Europe, but
That'd be
I
pretty
don't
cool.
know. Uh, just to get a feeling for it, just to figure out is it what I love or not. I mean,
Yeah. I
there's
I think it'll be a good time. I think my first one is in March, but um if you want and you're over here, you welcome to all of my stuff.
thank
I
you very
have a
much.
I have a set of Swaro EL ranges on the way that should hopefully be here in a few days.
Hopefully, I'm coming back to this offer. No,
Yeah.
but the season starts in beginning of February, so 3rd and 4th of February we're in France. So there's the very first match here in Europe, the European PRS Series match.
Okay.
Then we have another one in the middle of March, and then I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man, thank you for coming on. It's you're pretty exceptional. Your history and what you've got going, and it's
Thank you.
it's very amazing to be able to talk to someone like yourself and be able to learn something. So I greatly appreciate it. And I think I hopefully the people listening picked up something as well.
Thank you for having me on. I mean, that's my that's a very unique experience. It's my very first podcast thing. I'm usually very shy.
Well, you did good. I promise.
Thank you.
Um, are you sponsored by anyone? Do you need to give any shout outs to any companies or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay.
I
I've
mean,
already got all your stuff and we'll tag them all on
yeah,
Facebook and everything when it goes
I
up.
have
But
the very there is one thing I want to thank you guys over there in the States to welcome guys like me the way you do it because that's not usually normal. I
gotcha.
mean, I've been in the States first time 1998 for skydiving reasons, and then for training a fair amount of time. But what I experienced here through the sport, that is very unique. getting in contact with normal people, getting invitations, and so on. You name it. Thank you very much. I mean, thank you
Yeah, man.
for having guys like me. Thank you
Yeah.
for being there.
Honestly, I think it's so cool to get to learn from people, from different walks of life, and I mean, I think we can all learn something from each other, and you're essentially a professional shit talker just like the rest of us, so you fit in pretty good. So
Yeah, thank you.
it wasn't a hard choice to do it, but
Yeah,
it's been fun.
yeah. Still have problems with the language, but
You do really well, honestly, very well.
thank you. But it would be much easier if I could shit talking in Bavarian slang. Like, but nobody would understand me anymore.
Do it. Come over here and do it, and then teach me a couple things so I can be a little less uneducated.
Yeah, probably that's not the right thing you can learn from my side.
Hey, well, you can come over here and yell and cuss and Bavarian slang, and then if anyone asks you, it's like, oh, I was telling them good luck, and then they'll just think you're a nice guy. But no one will know the difference.
Well, I will give it a try.
All right, man. Well, hey, like I said, thank you again. I greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you when you get over here. And if I can ever help with anything, please
And you know,
let me know.
thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
Talk to you soon.
Bye bye.